Welcome to today's video, where I'm going to talk about the biggest pitching plus risers and fallers of 2025 so far. I'm going to release another video tomorrow talking about the biggest changers in Stuff Plus, and that will focus on pitchers with less than 20 innings pitched. Whereas here today, I'm going to focus on pitchers with more than 20 innings pitched, because that's when Pitching Plus stabilizes. So I made a video on what Pitching Plus and Stuff Plus are, which I'll link in the description. The quick recap is that basically it's a model that uses the physical characteristics of a pitch, its location, pitcher's handedness, and how different pitches of their arsenal interact together to quantify that pitcher's arsenal, with 100 being league average and every 10 points being one standard deviation. So it ranges from about 70 to 130. All right, so here we have the list of pitching plus risers in 2025. I will link to this file that I made in the description, and I'll talk about a few guys in more detail. We see Max Meyer at the top. I already made a video about him, so I won't talk about him again, but I will link to his video in the description below, and I will start out talking about Landon Roupp. So Landon Roupp is up 15 points in pitching plus, and he's a bit of an interesting case because his Stuff Plus is only up 4 points, and we can see that his fastball actually lost velocity, and so did his curve. However, his curve was already below league average, and he gained a lot of horizontal movement on the curve. So this could be a situation where he gained movement and became less like league average, so that actually could be good for him. We can also see that his changeup looks much more like his fastball, so I think there's a good chance the model is picking up on that and likes how those pitches interplay off each other more. And it's not shown here, but his locations have been better this year, so that's definitely part of this as well. The next guy I want to discuss individually is Hunter Brown. We can see, looking at his pitch movements, that his fastballs, both his four seam and sinker, are up about a mile an hour from last year. We can also see that he dropped his cutter usage, and we can see that his four seam has more ride or vertical movement in 2025 compared to 2024. To me, that's what it looks like the changes are that the model is picking up on as demonstrating an improved arsenal. The next guy I want to mention is Shane Baz. So if we look at his pitch movement, we can see that both his fastball and changeup are up in velocity this year. Last year, he was coming back from injury, and he may not have been fully built up, but now it looks like we're getting that velocity bump. We can see that his slider is down in velocity, however, he's throwing it way less. And his curveball is getting more vertical drop, and his changeup is getting more, it looks like, horizontal and vertical movement as well in the other direction. So I think these are what the model sees and why Baz is having good success so far in 2025. Let's get into the fallers. So here's that list sorted in the opposite direction, which is again linked below. I don't want to talk about everyone, but I'll highlight the top couple names, starting with Bryce Miller. Here we can see that his fastball velocity is down in 2025 about a mile an hour, both on the four seam and on the sinker. It doesn't look like there are too many changes here in the pitch movements. However, the biggest thing with him is he has not been locating well so far. Usually he's a guy who has really good control and command, but he's been walking guys and he's been missing spots lately. So I think that's the biggest reason why he's down in this pitching plus metric. And the last big changer I want to take a look at is Taj Bradley. Looking at his arsenal, we can see his four seam and cutter are down a bit in velocity, but it's not too bad. I think the biggest thing he changed is he seems to have a different curveball, which is faster and getting less drop, both horizontal and vertical. I'm not sure how much of an impact that has. The pitch level Stuff Plus seems to still think the curve is okay. I think the biggest thing with Bradley is his location plus has been bad, so he hasn't been locating well, and that has hurt his overall arsenal. I think I'm going to hold off there, and hopefully I've kind of talked you through enough to where you could go look up anyone you want to on your own. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.